Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Orbital Potato, and today we are going to be continuing as an independent Scotland, trying to forge our way in the world. And, you know, let's be honest, we've got a shit ton of cash behind us. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Very, very good to see that we do indeed have a lot of money. We don't really have any super major, difficult to deal with problems. We've got this rare earth crisis, but that's being solved over time by this rare earth metal mining modifier. Capitalists are also gonna freaking love us because of this. Although I don't understand why they do. I mean, surely if this is a state-funded policy, which it is, then surely capitalists are against that. An operation that's run by the government. But I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I'll be honest with you. We've also got this little flooding damage. I predict this is going to end in 5 turns, give or take. That's going to provide a 15% boost to our GDP. So, you know, it's pretty... That's not what I wanted to click on. It's pretty good to see that we've actually, we're actually in a good situation, even though our GDP is 15% down. And, we're going to make even more monies as soon as our GDP goes up to pre-flooding levels. Great, so what are we going to try and do today? Well, once again, I feel that it is our job to make sure that we try and force down this oil price as much as we can. And, I think we're actually getting there. I think we're actually genuinely getting there. Is there a way that we can do it? So, what I don't see up here is I don't see monorail construction, right? I don't see monorail construction up there. If we could, I think that's a thing that we can actually do. Is that a thing that we can do? We can get subway subsidies. Have we already enacted the building of the monorail? National monorail system. Yeah, we actually totally do. Yeah, so we've already given this all that we can give it. Is there any other transport policies that really take our fancy? Not really, to be honest. I mean, there's car emissions limits. I suppose we could probably go for some car emissions limits. Environmentalists going to be a little bit happy. Environment boosted by 21% for this little policy. Going to reduce car usage, which is what we want, and CO2 emissions is going to slow down global warming, which is exactly what we want to do. Although it's not something that we're actively trying to set out to achieve. But anyway, let's once again go and have a look at the transport policies, because this is what it's all about. Bicycle lanes. Bicycle lanes is something that I'm really interested in. Also, biofuel subsidies. I think biofuel subsidies, yes, they directly impact, that directly impacts the oil demand. So that is going to be a two-turn implementation of a 10%, 11% reduction in oil demand. So that is actually very, very impressive. Food price is going to be pushed up just a little bit because of the biofuel subsidies, but fingers crossed that won't mess things up too much. And we also want to be going for bicycle lanes, but we're going to have to do that next turn. So, we've got goals for next turn, which is what we're excited for. We're going to allow the dump, I guess. So capitalists like us, environmentalists, I mean, it says they're trending downwards. They're not going to be trending downwards for much longer. Let me be honest. They are going to be trending upwards very, very shortly indeed. Biofuel subsidies, I think, are something that they would be in favor of, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, a water shortage. That's weird. So that's spiked up, and it looks like it's going to head back down on the next turn. Very, very good. I didn't expect this to be a problem, but hey-ho. Pollution, again, spiked up, and then is going to be set to go down next time? I don't understand. Also, the environment is nowhere near as good as it could be. I can't believe hydropower is bad for the environment. I mean, I suppose technically it is, because you disrupt the whole natural water cycle by actually just damming a river. But at the same time, hey-ho, that's the reality of the situation, I suppose. That's the trade-off you pay for cheaper electricity and more plentiful electricity and reduced energy consumption, I suppose, in this game. So middle-income folk really do not like us. Is there any chance that we could scrap inheritance tax, for example? I mean, this gives a nice, healthy boost to equality, but apart from that, nobody fucking likes it. Nobody likes it at all. And besides, we're playing as the SNP, who are fairly left-wing, so they would probably keep that policy. They'd probably keep inheritance tax, I would think. Anyway, as we said, we want to go for bicycle lanes. Now, bicycle lanes, let's go the whole hog on bicycles. 26% increase in bicycle usage, and motorists are going to be unhappy, as they always are. Holy cow. So we've got some improvements. Right of way, I think that's on side streets, I can't tell. Bicycle path along the side of the road, perhaps, and then bicycle highways. Damn right, I want me some bicycle highways. Yes, please. How much are we spending on our military? We're not actually spending that much on our military. I mean, we could go overboard, and that would help reduce unemployment, I suppose. But, in fact, that would reduce unemployment by a lot, by like 27%. That's quite a considerable amount, but I really don't think we need to. I'm not really that concerned by that. Now, let's take a look at oil demand. Wow, oil demand falling rapidly. Oil price is probably going to follow suit. I reckon it's going to be very, very low in not very long. That is my prediction. Not very long until the price is very, very low. Because if we've got supply that is larger than demand, then, you know, the simple laws of economics, I think, state that, that the price will go down, which is very, very good. So I'm actually genuinely curious to see how many... Oh, who cares? Let's go for that. Make the capitalists a little bit happier. I'm actually genuinely curious to see what happens next turn in regards to all of our red bubbles, because maybe... 2 will end if we're lucky. Yeah, okay, so 1 ended, that's fine. The other one that we were hoping to end didn't end, which was pollution. But I presume that that is going to end this turn. Yeah, that's definitely below the green line. So that is definitely going to be ending this turn. That's good. Pollution is only set to increase with the implementation of this rare earth metal mining policy. So that's annoying, but... you know, what can you do? We've got to have this. Now, we have a problem, right? Because this rare earth crisis is going to become permanent. Probably. Either in the near future or... yeah, either in the near future or, you know, very, very soon. It's gonna become a permanent feature very, very soon. If we can actually get this line past the stop trigger, I will be impressed. I don't think we're going to be able to, because our technology is doing so well at the moment that I just don't think it's possible for us to ever go back to a land where we don't have rare earth. So I unfortunately think this is going to be hanging around for quite a long time, which means a permanent reduction in our productivity by 7.5% and a 4% reduction in GDP. The 4% reduction is not that bad, but the 8% or the 7.5% reduction in productivity, it's not the best. It's really not the best in the slightest. So we could be doing with something perhaps a little bit better than that, but hey-ho. Poor earnings. How are poor earnings doing? Because, you know, we're socialists. We should be caring about poor earnings. The food price. Okay, the food price. How can we remedy this food price? International trade, oil price, food standards agency, biofuel subsidies. Can we get rid of the biofuel subsidies, the food standards agency? You know, I think this actually might be a good policy to get rid of. Yeah, I think this should help reduce the burden on poorer people, which is not something that we've really thought about for most of this game, unfortunately. I mean, what did the focus groups say? They give us 100% approval. That's kind of nice. That's very nice, actually. They really don't like capitalists. They really do not like capitalists. I really never use this tool. I never use it. I just don't care. I just don't care enough, you know? But sorry, no, this is individuals. This isn't This isn't like a specific analysis of parties and demographics and whatnot. This is just individual people, which is fine, I guess. Wow, look at the opinion of the government. Everybody is fanatically supportive. Oh, extremely supportive. You're extremely supportive. How can we assassinate you? No, I joke. But yeah, everybody else looks like they're fanatically supportive, which is kind of weird. But hey ho. International trade is something that that we actually rely on for the food price. For example, let me food stamps. Does that affect the food price? No. Where is the food price? Price of food. There we go. So international trade takes a nice little chunk out of food price, as we can see here. We need to try and raise international trade, if at all possible. Now, the annoying thing is, we very specifically closed all the airports for a reason. Also, our currency strength is very, very strong. Do we want to try and devalue our currency a little bit? Do you want to try and lower inflation? Maybe lowering inflation is actually the correct course of action. Let's muck around with some modded monetary policy. See if it's something that we're interested in. Now, where would it be? It's not in here. It would be in economy. It makes sense. If it's economic policy, then it absolutely would make sense. Okay, so this would be money supply. This is what we're talking about right now. Is there anything else that would contribute? No, it's money supply. So what we want to do is we want to lower inflation. And we want to lower inflation and raise GDP. Well, okay. I mean, this should be... Oh, holy cow, what was this? I just hovered over GDP and wow, look at all of that color. Look at all the colors. It's beautiful. So very, very beautiful. Lovely, 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 lovely. Yeah, let's actually see. I want to see that increase to GDP because that's nothing we really have to do, and it should mean that poor people and people on middle income incomes will be actually okay with it. I mean, it's just a guess. Let's face it, it's just a guess, but it might work. It might work. So inflation, yeah, it should be helping everybody. And let's remember this number, 4.27%, and fingers crossed that changes to something more appropriate for us. So a larger number than 4.7 would be great. Pollution has ended, fantastic. GDP has increased by what looks like 4%. You really can't complain about the maths. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, the close airports completely is probably our single largest modifier. Well, largest permanent yeah. Okay, so closing airports completely is our single largest permanent sort of factor to negative GDP. But it doesn't really matter because we're achieving really, really very, very high GDP anyway. Okay, so pollution has ended. That's great. Climate change protocol. Let's ratify the protocol. Yeah, GDP is already up. We checked that. How's employment doing? Employment's doing all right. It's not doing as good as it could be. Employment benefit. This is something that we want to keep around, actually. This is something that we want to keep around. I don't think we want to increase expenditure in it. I think that we've got a good balance at the moment, so we don't try and convince people that going unemployed is the correct course of action. Let's quickly just check out our rare earth crisis. As you can see, we've almost stalled. Right, so we've almost stalled in our downward trend, and as soon as the full 16-month term of the implementation of this policy is up, we're not gonna go any further. Like we're in trouble. Foreign relations are at their max, absolutely. International relations, which are apparently something completely different. Holy cow, we can boost this just simply by doing this. Huh. Although we don't want our currency strength to rise. Yeah, how do we go about doing this? Wow, so anything I do here is a boost for Patriots. Like, Patriots fucking... Well, not this way. Patriots fucking love this shit, man. I really want to boost international... I want to boost international trade, but at the same time I want our currency to come down. So fingers crossed what we're doing with this money supply is going to be the correct course of action. So this is going to take 2 turns to implement. That's fine. We should start to see inflation come down. No, we should start to see inflation come down. And I'm going to skip straight to the next turn because I actually am genuinely curious to see what happens. Flooding damage has ended. Perfect. Unemployment is down. And GDP is up. That's a 13% increase to GDP that ending of that flooding damage brought about. So very, very, very happy with that. The loyalty of your ministers can best be described as fanatical. Their effectiveness is generally considered to be exceptional. Well, what an endorsement. What an endorsement. Alright, let's check on our monetary policy. This should be implemented. Why is this not being implemented? We should see progress. And as of yet... Oh, interest rate. We can also change the interest rate. We want inflation to go down and we want purchasing power to go up. We're gonna hold it even, and we're just gonna try and do it purely through the money supply rather than the interest rate. I feel that that's probably the correct course of action. Once again, I'm not an economist, right? I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing in regards to fiscal and monetary policy of an independent Scotland. I'm gonna be the first to admit that I have no fucking idea what's going on. If you do know what's going on and you're an economist, help me out. Tell me what I should do, because I'm genuinely curious and I want to make sure that I get it right. You know, for the sake of the nation. For the sake of the nation. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, my name, of course, is Potato. Thank you very, very much for watching this video and coming along. If you're interested, you know, subscribe, like the video as well. Help me out. And, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!